to another episode of Big Flippin' Bass. As you can see, we're out on the water. Really foggy this morning. It's about 8 o'clock. It's super foggy this morning, so, and real calm. There's not a whole lot of wind. We're gonna try to hit some top water early, and then later on we're gonna go back into some canals when it heats up. We'll go back into the back of the lake, and we're gonna be flipping and pitching a lot to see if we can't find a hog. Somebody's had some success out there catching 4 or 5 pounders last week or so. So we're gonna head back there and see if we can get on some of those. But until then, I'm just probably gonna run through. We got a new topwater bait. This is something my dad's been throwing. He's been throwing it in a bluegill color and has had a lot of success with it. And it's just a little prop bait. I got it in a Sexy Shad, and the reason I picked it up in Sexy Shad is for lakes and stuff like that. It's clearer water. That white bottom is what they're really gonna hone in on. The key to this bait is it kind of gives you the best of both worlds when you talk about a buzz bait. It has the props on there to produce the bubbles and the ripples in the water like a buzz bait would, but yet I can leave it in a spot and leave it in the strike zone longer like I did with the live target sunfish last week, or last video. So that's gonna maybe get me a couple more strikes this morning on top water. I'm gonna try to catch those on camera. And then whenever we move back and start flipping and pitching, I'll probably turn off my GoPro and just use this one because I think I like this a little bit better. But yeah, let's go ahead and get onto it. We're gonna hit in the first cove like we did last time, go in the back of the cove, hit the first bank, and run our way up. We just made it down our first bank with our topwater. We didn't have no bites, but there's this tree over here and this little bit of a creek canal kind of goes back, and we've had a lot of rain the past couple of days, so the water level's been up. That tree's a little bit more underwater than what it normally is, so it's right, being that in fact it's right there at a branch off of the lake or a little creek going back. Some structure sitting in the water. It's a little higher, so it's a little more in the water. I'm gonna try to flip into it with a big flipping bait and see if I can't pull a big hog off of it real fast. That's the stuff that I kind of look for whenever I'm flipping and pitching. You know, just key things that you think may hold something that it's not normally there. It's something that really just catches your eye, stands out. Dead grass, changing the banks, stuff like that. Trees underwater. You know, stuff that those bass can really hold up tight to it. I'm really just keeping an eye out for that. Don't look like anybody's home just yet. We'll move on. We might come back later in the day when it gets a little hotter. No topwater bites so far this morning. We're gonna go back to flipping and pitching a little bit and see if we can't land one early this morning. My fog's about to burn off, so I want to try to get the bite in while it's biting. Try to fish the riprap up here by the dam. It's getting kind of shallow here and gets a little deeper up there, so give me a minute. Let's get up there. Alright, so we're dealing with a little bit of a cooler morning. This riprap's going to hold heat, so I'm going to see if some of these big fish haven't crawled up here to this riprap. The current's coming up this way anyway. See if they're not sitting down here. We're going to try to drag a jig down around these rocks to see if they can't get something to hit it bouncing off the rocks. Try to stay a good distance off the bank, cast up to the bank and drag it down the drop off here. What, you know, first thing I get hung up. Nothing there. I'm gonna cut away, go down a little bit. We'll see if we can't start getting into the canals. Alright, I came down from the riprap up there by the dam. Didn't catch anything, and as on the way down I was kind of using a crankbait. It dives 2 to 5 feet, cranking off kind of deeper off the banks. The banks ain't very deep over here, and I caught a little guy. I mean, teeny tiny, and maybe 9-10 ounces. So since they're not biting buzz baits, they're not biting the topwater, they're not biting the crankbaits very well, we're gonna get back to what I know best, and today we're just gonna go flipping for some big bass. We're gonna head down to the canals where they've been catching some big bass, and we're gonna do what I do best, and that's flipping and pitching. Let's get to it. Alright, I'm gonna fish around a little bit until we get back into the canals. I'm trying to do a better job about saving some battery for y'all so y'all can see the good stuff. But I'll pick it back up when we hit this bank where I know there's always fish that up. So give me a few minutes. All right, sometimes I do pretty good through here, so we're gonna try to pick up here for a little bit and then move back deeper. This is like a channel. It's where the banks narrow in together, and there's not much current coming in here today. But when there is, those bait fish will come through here, and the bass will stack up in here, feeding on the bait fish because it's like an ambush point. They can't really get through here without getting close to the banks. I've pulled off some pretty decent ones out of here too. Just so y'all know what the plan is for today, I'm gonna come out here this morning like I have. We're gonna fish around for a little while. Probably a little after lunchtime or so, midday. I'm gonna go in, call it for a break, go in. I'm gonna recharge up, get something to eat, delete some old files that don't need to be on here, and then we'll come back in the afternoon and try to fish into sundown. That's usually where I do the best back there anyway. But like I said, I've only been down here once or twice. I thought I'd give it a shot. I know there's some structures and stuff down here at the end. This canal actually goes all the way down to the main road and the neighborhood. You can see it from the road, and there's some like sticks sticking up and stuff like that at the end that they might hold up against. Which we're almost there, so we'll fish our way to the end, and then we'll turn around and hightail it out and go down the other one. Got one. Not bad, probably a pound and a half. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm looking at back here. So I'm at the very, very, very back of one of those creek channels. Alright, so we got some high grass, we got some rocks. There's a drainage pipe running into fresh water there, keeping the water churned up nice and cool and oxygenated. That's going to keep the bait fish back here. And when there's bait fish, there's going to be some big fish. So obviously there's bait fish are back here where this water's being churned, and those bass are back here feeding on those. So that was a solid pound and a half bass. Let's go see if there's any more back there. Alright, going back down the other canal, I went to my traditional Yum Dinger Senko worm, green pumpkin chartreuse. Put a little smell good stuff on there. Got it rigged weightless. This is what we'll be flipping back here probably. This is on a 15-pound fluorocarbon, 7-foot medium heavy rod. Let's see if there's any big boys back here. Right at the top of the mouth. Little guy, maybe a little less than a pound. But he was important though, because that means there's some back here. We really just have got into this canal. To catch one already, it's pretty good. The other one we went down, we didn't catch anything until we got to the very back of it. And that's just because the conditions were just nearly perfect for one. If I didn't catch one back in the back of that canal, I probably would have went home. Just to forget it. There's no fish today. They've all disappeared for a day. Got some structure in the water back here. Both sides of us. Oh! They don't seem very big, but they're hitting it hard. They're just running with it. We got some overhanging limbs over here. Some logs sticking up. Looks like plywood or something where it used to be a little dock sitting over here. Little changes like that, that's the stuff you want to target when you're talking about throwing soft plastics and stuff like that. You know, if you're flipping, pitching, throwing soft plastics up around the bank. Look for your shady areas. Look for your structure in the water. That's where they're going to hold up that. Little indentions in the bank. Got another stick sticking up out of the water on this side. Some shaded areas over here. And there's actually a water runoff system right here too, a little concrete funnel, if you will, let the water run down. And that's pouring into the lake itself, so that's going to change the water temperature. So I'll turn that water up, get the oxygen moving. Similar to what we had in the back of that last canal. Alright, so we came out of the canal. I did not get any bites back in the back of that canal. I didn't make it all the way to the end. I just wasn't getting any hits, so I came back out, fished every brush structure on the way out that I got bites on the way in. And one of them where I'd missed one, I pulled out about a pound bass. Big old long male. But like I said, we're going to look for big ones today. So I'm going to fish away I've never fished before. I'm probably going to hit the island real fast with a Ned rig. But this is a big 12-inch monster zoom worm. Green pumpkin. I dyed the tip, chartreuse, the tip of the tail. And this is a big 3/8 ounce tungsten weight. I didn't peg it, I want it to free flow. So to almost act like a Carolina rig. And we're gonna go out here deep off the back of the island. And there's brush structures back here, I know. We're gonna throw this out and we're gonna work the middle of this lake to see if these big ones have pulled out here, because I have yet to find a big one since spawn season. Spawn season I caught several 5, 5.5, 6.5 pound bass. And since spawn I haven't caught anything over like 3 or 4 pounds. So we're gonna see if they've pulled out. They're not on the secondary points either. You know, most of the time this is something you use late fall and in the heavy summer months when they're definitely deep. But in Texas, our summer starts a little bit sooner. It's hot, it really is. It's been in the 80s, low 90s, mid 80s, mid to high 80s, something like that. So it's really hot, and they're out around the island, I know, but nothing real decent. We've caught a couple 3-pounders off the island, but that's it. The island's, once you get past the island, that's the deepest part of the lake. So we're gonna start on the front of the island and kind of float our way out. I'm gonna circle around it one good time and fish with the Ned rig. Then we're gonna start working our way out from the island into deeper water and work down that ledge there. There's a dead minnow. So we're at the island now, so I'm gonna drop the speed on the trolling motor down to a steady 1. Grab my Lucky H2O Express open face. You see I got it rigged on a Ned rig. We're gonna fish up against the island here. Again, this is a 8-pound Monotex line with 8-pound, about 1.5 foot, 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. There's a bunch of minnows out here. I guess somebody lost a minnow bucket or something. We're just gonna fish around the outside of the island here, make a good trip around, and then we'll start going off deep. I don't expect a whole lot of baits. This is not a way I normally fish with that big monster worm. It's not something I'm confident in. But I do know that when one hits it, it's going to be a decent fish. So that's what we're looking for. You know it's a bad day of fishing if they can't even hit a Ned rig. The little guy I caught out here deeper earlier this morning, he was real white. Usually when they're real white like that, that means that they're schooling up. You know, when they're real dark, it means they're just holding tight to structure up on the grass and vegetation. When they're real light like that, that means that they're schooled up out deeper. So if we come across one where we start getting a couple hits on that worm, we might go to deep down and crankbait and see if we can't get a school going. I'm starting out here by the island because there's some brush piles out here that I know about. I don't know exact, like I said in another video, I don't know their exact location, but I know there's some out here. Well, we'll try variations of retrievals with this thing. We're going to swim it a little bit. You know, it's a swimming worm, a curlicue worm. And we're going to try to bounce it off the bottom a little bit. I'll make sure that thing goes all the way to the bottom. Let's have a seat for this one. This might take a while. Might not take that long after all. Alright, we're off the water, heading home. Fuel up my belly, fuel up the batteries on my phone and my GoPro and stuff like that. Edit some video I don't need, get rid of it. But in total, this is a summary of Riverwalk's fishing day. It was crap. I think I caught 4 or 5 in total. I hadn't had the camera on. The bite was so slow, there wasn't no point in me wasting a battery on the camera, so I didn't. Even the ones I caught were tiny. Except for at the very end, I picked up the Ned rig. Obviously the bite got super slow. I picked up the Ned rig, was working the banks, and I hung on to probably at least a 3.5 pounder and got her right up to the boat, and she jumped and spit the hook on me. I wasn't expecting her to be that big, so I didn't set the hook very hard, and she just didn't get all that little hook in her mouth. So she jumped and spit it on me. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. That's how it goes. But so I didn't get off the water when I thought I would. It's almost 2:30 now, and I was planning on being off the water about 2 hours ago. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go home. Like I said, I'm gonna put some stuff on the charger, let it charge up. I'm not gonna be taking the boat back out. The Riverwalk Lake don't do very good in the afternoon for some reason. They'll hit early morning, and then once midday comes around, they're done for the day. So we're not gonna take the boat back out, but I am gonna go try out this new spot. I've never fished there. People say there's fish there. It's fed in by the San Jacinto apparently, and yeah, so I don't even know if there's any bass in there. Somebody said they caught some crappie in there. Somebody said they caught a catfish in there. They said they've even caught gar in there, but I don't know if there's any bass in there. But we're gonna go look and see. This is a true pond though. It's real tiny. I don't know how much accessibility I'll have to it as far as walking around the whole thing. One side of it's kind of like up on a giant hill, so I don't know if we'll be able to get up to it or not. But we'll fish as much water as we can, cover as much of it as we can, and this will give you an idea of what I try to do when I go to little ponds and pond fishing and stuff like that. So we're pulling up to the house now. I'm gonna unload, eat, charge, and be back at it. Alright, new update. Got home,
fed our bellies, charged the batteries, heading out to the new lake now, or new pond I should say. This place is supposedly, like I said, fed in from the San Jacinto. People say there's fish. I've never personally been fishing here. I see people fishing all the time, but we're going to see if there's any bass in there anyway. For that very reason, I don't know what kind of terrain that I'm going to have to go through, so I changed my pants, plus my legs about sunburnt. I changed out my shorts, put on some pants, put on my boots, and we're going to see what's going on with this spot. I brought 5 rods, I think. Open face, it's still got a Ned rig tied onto it. I brought my Abu Garcia Pro Max, a 7-foot medium heavy, 17-pound fluorocarbon. I'll probably tie a jig or something onto that. I brought my Abu Garcia Black Max rod and reel combo. It's a 6.6 medium action with a 12-pound mono. I'll probably throw my lipless on it. And then I brought my Shimano rod with my Daiwa Acceler reel. It's a 7.2 medium heavy. It's got 65-pound braid on it and a 7.3 to 1 gear ratio. That's what I'm going to be throwing my Texas rig on and my flipping bait. And then I brought a Berkeley Cherrywood rod, 7-foot medium heavy. It's got 15-pound fluorocarbon on it with a Abu Garcia Black Max Model 2 reel, 6.4 to 1 gear ratio. And I'll probably be doing some cranking or spinner baits if I need to do something like that. It's a clear day, so I probably would throw a spinner bait over a chatter bait. Basically with all my tackle, where I normally put it in a crate when I'm out on my kayak or on the John boat, I just took it all out, put it in my big tackle bag, or my tackle box bag, and just switched all my planer boxes over in it, make it a little easier for me to carry when going around the banks and stuff like that. I don't know how much of the lake, like I said, I don't know how much of the lake I'm gonna get to cover. I know there's some spots to stand, there's some spots in between shrubs and all you can go in between and flip and stuff like that, and third cast, whatever. But again, I don't know if there's any bass here. So for that very reason, I did not even bring my tripod for my camera. I just brought my GoPro. So the sound quality is kind of bad. That's why I don't have a microphone for my GoPro yet. But I figure at least y'all can see what the spot looks like. You know, I can see if I catch anything, that kind of stuff. And then if I want to vlog anything while I'm out here, then I'll pull out my phone like I got now and let y'all know what's up with that. So yeah, we're going to head out to the spot, and then I'll see y'all again when we get there. So, this is the place. Kind of looks fishy, but there's some guys out here and I asked them, you know, what do they normally catch out here, and it seems like catfish is the main thing out here. They said there are some bass in here, but there's not a whole lot ever caught out of here. I did start fishing, but without getting my GoPro. I left it in the truck, but I just went and grabbed it. I don't even think I'm gonna need it, I'll be honest. I might try to find another spot real fast. Only thing looks like is in here is catfish and a bunch of, there are fish. I see a bunch of little bait fish, but little minnows and stuff, but I don't see any bass. No signs of bass. They're not even hitting a weightless Senko. That's crazy. But I'm gonna fish around for a minute. If I catch anything, I'll let you know. And until then, I might move to another spot. If I do, I'll pick y'all up then, but I'm gonna sign off for right now. Well, I've been fishing this late for, God, I don't even know how long. Turns out, they got bass after all. He was hiding in the pads over there in the corner, popping a frog across of them, and he blew up on it. Nice chunky little thing. He's healthy. There had to be one in here somewhere. As many bait fish as I've seen in here, if this is really fed in by the San Jacinto, which it looks like it may be, there had to be one in here somewhere. It's a nice chunky bass. Let's see if we can go get another one before it gets dark. He killed my frog, by the way. I don't know if I'll be able to fix it. I might have to throw on a different one. There he goes. Next. Alright, so our rating on the Newfound Waters is a little on the poor side. It wasn't a complete bust. I mean, I caught one. I wasn't expecting that. So, but I was out there for probably 4 hours, 3 hours, a good 3.5, and only caught the one. But the way I caught him was fun. He was down under a pad, threw a hollow body popping frog on top of behind the pad actually, parked it up on top of it, right in the middle of it. He exploded, blew my frog up. I thought I lost my frog, thought he ruined it, and I'm glad I had that 65-pound braid, because I had to drag him out of that stuff. Brought cabbage and everything with him, so that was fun. But to be out there as long as I was and only caught the one, that was kind of disappointing. But I'm calling it a day. It's almost 8 o'clock. Sun's going down. I want to go relax some before I go to bed. I have to get up early for work in the morning, and I need to get this video edited. Hopefully I can get it up to y'all tonight. It wasn't a complete bust day. I caught several this morning on the lake in the neighborhood. Caught one on a new lake on a frog, and in total I think it was like 5 to 7, somewhere around in there. Not my best day ever, but not the worst either. You know, like I said, I went out to Houston Lake one day and completely goose-egged here recently on my kayak and got sunburnt from it and everything else. So, at least today only half my legs are sunburnt and I actually caught fish. Not that big a deal. Anyway, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more pond hopping videos, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below, and I'll see if I can't get on Google Earth and find us some more to scope out. If you're not following me on any social media websites, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And like I always say at the end of all my videos, tight lines to you, and I'll see you in the future.